To celebrate reaching 100,000 subscribers, YouTuber Dee's Dark Adventures set herself a challenge. Survive one night, completely alone, deep in the woods, no friends, no backup, just a tent, her camera gear, and the unknown. It began calmly. Dee found a quiet clearing in the woods, far from trails or towns. She pitched her tent, gathered wood for a fire, and spoke to the camera with a nervous smile. But even before the sun disappeared, she sensed she wasn't alone.
Woo! Oh God, it's so nervous.
As the sun set, the forest came alive with sound. Chirping insects, snapping twigs, and something else. At first, she tried to brush it off. Animals, maybe. Wind in the trees. But then came the knocking.
The path we always take is straight behind the house through the wooded areas. Then more open land, and I was Stop. Hey! Hey! Woo! La, 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 la. Ah!
An eerie sound almost similar to a screech can be heard traveling through the distance. Although both Dee and her dog are visibly shaken, she goes outside of the tent to investigate.
I can't get all this packed on me. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. You guys are scared.
While trying to investigate and hopefully veer off any animals that could have possibly made the sounds, we can subtly hear someone or something utter the words, "Leave." Whether Dee was aware of this at the time is unclear. All I know is if I were her, I'd take the advice. Some say it was all just nerves. Others think something was watching her, something that knew she was alone. But one thing is certain. When you're deep in the woods, no subscriber count can protect you from what's out there. It was supposed to be a quiet night in the woods. Just him, the trees, and the stars. A quick escape from the city, bivvy bag camping in a small nature reserve on the edge of town. Nothing too remote, nothing too dangerous. Or so he thought. He'd done this countless times before, laid under the open sky, cooked a steak, and listened to the sounds of nature. There was nothing unusual about that night. Not at first.
Is that a badger? Hello?
As Dan sits in a remote area of the woods, footsteps can undeniably be heard all around him. As they sound like they are getting closer and closer, he looks all around completely unable to locate what's causing them.
I hope I got that on camera. I really hope I did. Because if I didn't, and I'm showing this, people won't believe that.
Hearing things in the woods is something I think everybody expects to hear while camping. Footsteps that clearly sounds like they're coming from a human is a different story, especially when the entity, human or otherwise, cannot be seen. Despite the ordeal, Dan tries to continue his camping expedition by talking about his journey and even cooking up some noodles. However, despite trying to distract himself, knowing he has to camp overnight in the same area, those footsteps still haunt the back of his mind.
I'm going to be honest. I can't stay here now. I'm going to be a wimp. I don't care if people call me a wimp in the comments, but I can't stay here. I'm too unsettled. I'm nervous. I've done camping like this a load of times. I think I'm going to go find somewhere else to get this bivvy set up.
Despite being a well-experienced camper, Dan comes to the realization that there was something so off with that ordeal that it had to lead to the decision of him leaving the area. Whether it's due to nerves or sense that led him to that decision, one thing's for certain: no amount of experience can overcome fear once it sets in.
Let's camp here, shall we?
Gaz, known on YouTube as Grizzly Gaz, is no stranger to the woods. A quiet night out beneath the trees is more of a routine than a risk for him, something he does to reset, reconnect, and escape the noise of the everyday world. And he never camps completely alone. By his side, as always, was his loyal little dog, alert, calm, and as seasoned a companion as you could ask for in the wild. He cooked himself a quick, humble meal of mashed potatoes while his dog lay curled near his feet. The trees swayed gently overhead. The evening light was soft, warm, peaceful. But in the deep woods, it seems peace only lasts as long as the woods allows.
I'm going to have to close up soon because this light's attracting all flies. Alright, come on.
As Gaz turns off his light, we can instantly begin to hear branches snapping and rustling in the leaves. Now in the woods, there is no shortage of animals and branches, so there is no reason to think anything sinister. However, as the idea of this being a thing of nature sinks in, things take a terrifying turn.
I hope there's no widow makers fall on us. That'd be no good, would it, mate? Oh, this pillow.
Out of nowhere, something pushed against the bivvy. Not lightly, not brushing past. It was deliberate, firm and focused. As Gaz quickly climbed out of his tent, hoping to confront whatever or whoever had caused the disturbance, he found nothing. No movement, no sound, no one there.
That's got to have been someone f***ing around me there, hasn't it? Right, come here.
He's convinced it was just someone playing tricks on him. But to me, the idea of a person lurking in the woods at that hour is just as unsettling as anything else it could have been.
It's safe to say that what you're about to watch is probably the hardest and not very nicest video I've ever had to edit.
Brendan, known as Brendan Explores, a UK-based stealth camper and YouTuber, arrived in Jaywick for what he expected to be a routine overnight adventure. His goal was simple: find a discreet spot, spend the night in his van, and share the experience with his followers. Jaywick is a quiet seaside town on the Essex coast. But for one man, this place would become the setting of a terrifying night he'll never forget.
Right, after traipsing around for the last 20 minutes to half hour trying to find a spot, there's apparently a quiet little park up at the end here, maybe. Oh. Alrighty, nice and quiet here. Not even a sound of a distant car. Just how I like it.
Brendan parked discreetly, doing his best to stay unnoticed. He closed the blinds, laid out his bed, and settled in, hoping for a quiet night. Everything was calm, until it wasn't.
I think someone's outside the back. 2:30. Someone just tried the door. Hey!
Just as Brendan begins to suspect someone might be circling his van with sinister intent, the silence is torn apart with a violent thud, and his window shatters like a gunshot in the night. Whoever shattered the window clearly meant harm. The terrifying part is as Brendan left to check to see who caused the break-in, no one was in sight, and whether they were after the van or Brendan himself remains a chilling mystery.
As you can see, I didn't film a huge amount towards the end, but what happened directly after the last clip? Well, to say I was scared, you know whatless, would be an understatement. I wasn't exactly concentrating on, should I film this, should I film that, so there wasn't really a lot to film afterwards. I just, quite frankly, just wanted to go home.
Expectedly, Brendan, clearly flustered, begins expressing his desire to just want to go home and be done with this whole ordeal. As he revealed the damage to his van, one chilling thought lingers. If the door had been unlocked, who knows? Would Brendan have been the target? Subscribe if the disturbing is where you feel at home, and like if this one got under your skin. Because the woods aren't something to take lightly. They watch, they listen, and sometimes, they don't let you leave.